everyone, and welcome to today's edition. I am your anchor, Blessing Dollar, broadcasting live from the OLDN TV studios. And with me today is an amazing person. He's an OD and a leadership practitioner in the person of Mr. Saeed Ahmed, joining us all the way from Afghanistan. Thank you, Mr. Saeed Ahmed, for accepting our invitation. How are you doing?
You're welcome. I'm doing very great. Thank you.
Amazing, amazing. So before we get started, could you give us a rundown of who you are? That's career-wise. Just a very brief introduction of yourself, please.
Well, thank you very much. Thanks for OLDN TV for providing this opportunity. As you know, my name is Saeed Ahmad Yama Kashifi. I'm basically from Ghazni province of Afghanistan. And I have completed my high school in Balkh province, which is a province located in the north of Afghanistan. And then I pursued my higher education in Bangalore University, Karnataka State of India, through a government-funded scholarship. And I completed my bachelor degree in economics, marketing, and psychology in 2009. And then I returned to Afghanistan, and I started my official career in 2009 after a short break of 5 or 6 months with the Afghanistan Independent Human Rights Commission as an English translator. Then I joined a project funded by UNDP, the United Nations Development Project, funded by United Nations Development Project program, and implemented by Afghanistan Independent Civil Service Commission. The project was, the focus of project was building the capacity of the government institutions, and it was a 4-year project which ended in 2017. Okay. So then I continued my career with various national and international organizations, and I'm currently working as a team lead with the Justice Sector Support Program funded by INL.
Wow, amazing. That's quite a huge profile there. That's quite a huge profile there. So but before this session, I have some few drafted questions I intended to ask you. So without any further ado, the first question is, you're an expert in capacity development, training package development and organizations, and management training. What attracted you to this practice?
Well, this has been a sudden experience because my background was in economics, and when I returned from India after completion of my bachelor degree, when I joined UNDP, and then I found this area very interesting because this is the area where you build the capacity of the people and you provide services, you give them, knowledge, skills to implement it in their own organization. So teaching was one of my favorite, and teaching and capacity building was one of my favorite in the past. But when I entered to this area of capacity building, I found it very interesting. So I plan to continue my career in this specific field.
Wow. Intriguing. So as regards the introduction you did about yourself, you mentioned some few companies. So I'm going to ask you the next question as regards your introduction. You have worked in international and non-governmental organizations and civil society organizations such as the United Nations Development Program, Swedish Committee for Afghanistan, and Ministry of Finance. What are the top 3 capacity development areas that every consultant needs to focus on?
Well, the areas differs from organization to organizations, but from my perspective, from my point of view, there are, the 3 areas which consultants should focus to build the capacity of an organization or the human resources, because human resource is the foundation of an organization where the professionals are trained there and they are implementing all policies and strategies of the organization. The second area is the communication and coordination, because communication coordination delivers and conveys the main message and what the organization is doing. So the consultant should, may focus on coordinating and communicating, building the communication and coordination capacity of the organizations so that they clearly convey the vision, mission, and values of organizations to the public. The consultant can focus on strategic planning, because strategic planning is also an important area where the consultant can focus, and that will summarize, the whole activities or the issues an organization may implement it. So these three areas, from my point of view, are an important, capacity building areas where the consultant can focus and put their efforts to build these areas.
That is quite a lovely explanation. And I understood that you work with a JSSP. Okay, great. One of your key responsibilities in JSSP is developing the professional skills of teammates. What is your understanding of professionalism and the key professional skills for today's organization?
Well, professionalism, from my point of view, is the specialization in a specific field of, career or a field. So to build the professional capacity of the teammate is something that in a team, members have different background. One is working in the budget area, another is working in the procurement area, the next one is working in the human resource area. So they each of the teammate has their own professionalism in their specific area of study. So building their professionalism means that they should be updated, and they should have the skills and capacity to work with the counterpart or with the government institutions to build the capacity of their staff in that specific professional area. So, for example, if one is working with, is a budget advisor, I'm sure he or she must have the specific, skills and capacity. But he or she should work with the counterpart organization as well to cascade his skills, knowledge to those people so that they should do their work. So in terms of professionalism and developing the professional skills of teammate is something that what I mean is that as a team lead or as someone who is leading a team should continuously provide up-to-date and timely instructions and guidance to the team so that they should update and they should enhance their skills and knowledge in that particular area.
Oh, okay. Now that was quite an interesting definition of what professionalism should be all about. That being said, now let's shift a little, but we're still in the topic of organization development. Now, it will interest you to know that the World Economic Forum identified organization development as one of the top skills by 2020. What is the role of OD, and how is this field, and how can this field be advanced in Afghanistan?
Thank you. Very good question. In fact, the aim of OD, or organizational development, is to promote the organizational effectiveness. So the role of OD can be a drive for change. Means the OD consultant should be a change driver. When he or she works in an organization, he should take, the lead of change management process. This is one rule. The other rule is that OD can promote, good working relationship among the team in an organization. Means that because OD promotes the effectiveness of organization, The role of the OD is that it should provide, situation, or it should create a circumstances where the people should work toward a common goal in terms of, their organizational goals. So another rule that I can tell you of OD is that OD uh, OD can form an organization where people where people can put their efforts in terms of developing capacity among themselves. So these are the important roles that an OD consultant can play in order to lead the organization towards effectiveness and efficiency.
Mm. All right. Okay. Now, in the course of explaining that, you mentioned something called change driver, be a change driver. As
Yes.
such, you are referring to leadership. So, with that, I would ask you, you work as a team lead in the Ministry of Justice. What is your understanding of leadership? And how can it be advanced in your country, that's Afghanistan?
Yeah, thank you. Well, leadership has been defined and has been explained in different way by different people, and it is not a new issue. From my point of view, leadership is an art by which one can direct a team in order to achieve their good organizational objectives and goals. When we say directing a team, means that a team will be working towards achieving a specific goal of an organization. So the leader can act and can play a role of director or an instructor who can create a situation, a friendly situation, an environment in which the team members can put their utmost effort to achieve the organizational goals. In terms of how leadership can be advanced in Afghanistan, uh, from my point of view, if we talk from the organizational point of view, it is there should be, there should be a close contact or relationship between the leadership of an organization and the lower level staff. Because if there is a good relationship between leadership and employee, then the employee can they can work with interest in the organization. So one of the point that we can develop an leadership in an organization point of view is that the gap should be broken between the leader and the employee. The second point that can lead or that can cause advancement in the leadership is that the leaders should explain their visions for the organization clearly, and there should not be something hidden between the employees and leadership or other layers of organization. The manager or middle level or lower level employees. So this can also lead towards the advancement of leadership in an organization. And the other point that I would like to mention in this case is that they should be they should be among the staff. That there should not be any sort of higher staff and lower staff. That leader should be among the employees, so that employees should feel that they are the leader is fair with them and hear their voices. It is a perspective of it is a perspective that can lead towards advancement of leadership in an organization. If we talk about outside the organization, again I'm emphasizing that from the country point of view, the gap should be broken between the people and the leader, because in most of the countries, especially in Afghanistan, people need to reach their voices to the leaders. And this, I mean, the gap created between the people and the leader has caused that the government or those who are in the leadership position do not hear the voice of the people.
Wow. So, given the explanation you just gave, you said something quite interesting, breaking the barrier, and you mentioned making the staff or the employees feel at ease with the employer. Now, don't you think when the employees feel at ease with the employer, certain things might start happening? Because first of all, there is something I always say: mistaking one's simplicity for stupidity. As a result of that, his simplicity might be taken for granted. Is that something we want to encourage, or do you want to throw more light on being like lenient or something like that, sir?
Can you repeat? I could not catch it.
Oh, great. I asked, you spoke of breaking the barrier and
Yes,
making
yes,
a friendly environment for the staff and the employer. That's
yeah,
the employees and the leader. So there should be this friendly environment. Now,
right.
when the environment becomes very friendly, don't you think some staff, some employees might mistake his friendship for something else, or they might mistake his simplicity for stupidity? Or maybe they might say, since it's friendly and he's jovial, they won't respect him again. Don't you think that might be a shortcoming?
Of course, it might be, but what I mentioned was my point of view was that when we say breaking the barriers, I don't mean that they should not consider the chain of command, the chain of command from the top to bottom, bottom to top, but it means that from that point, I mean that the leaders by closing to the people means that they should hear the voice of people. They should understand what the people feel, what are the problems of the people. Uh, I'm sure that if when we say that we break the barriers, of course they will misuse. But that should not be, I mean, the case. That should not be the case, because when the leader, is ready to hear the problem of the people, I mean, the challenges people are facing. So people should not misuse that. This applies in the same in the organization. I'm telling this because in most of the organizations, even in Afghanistan, um, employees cannot simply, meet the leader for a long time. So this means that a sort of gap has been created. Means that the leader is not ready to face the people. They are not ready to listen what they are feeling and what are their problems. So by breaking barrier, I mean that they should be reachable to understand what the people feel. I mean, what are the problems of the people. I mean that.
Wow. Wow. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I'm very grateful. So, I don't want to keep you so much because of your time. I understood
No
that you
worries.
just joined the OLDN platform. So you're now a member of the OLDN family.
Right.
What is your expectation from this community, and any plans to get more Afghanistan members?
Well, I first of all thank OLDN for giving the opportunity to be a member of that. It has been short time that I joined this, wonderful network. Uh, I have when I joined this OLDN, I had a lot of expectation, and I'm sure that those expectations will be met one day. This is a forum where people, professionals from various countries, from different parts of the world, come together to share their experiences on OD, change management, leadership, and of course, they are great people. They are high level people. My expectation is that to make use of their experiences, knowledge they have in various areas, as I mentioned, OD, leadership, and change management and apply it in my career. Where I work in Afghanistan, I apply that, and so that I witness the change in an organization or the organizations where I work. I have talked with many of my friends, and I'm sure you know that most of my colleagues are a member of this wonderful network. And I have talked about it a lot with other colleagues and people as well. Those who are interested will definitely join, because it's a forum that they will make maximum use. They will make maximum use of this. They will use and they will apply the knowledge and skills shared by professionals and great people in this network. So I have been trying to attract our people, our friends, colleagues, so that they join this network in the future.
Wow. Thank you so much for those empowering words you shared. And first of all, again, I want to thank you for making out time to join this virtual session. Indeed, it was amazing and it was very interesting. It was very interesting, especially to the point where I deliberately asked you about the change maker, the change driver, and then breaking down the communication band. It was quite insightful. Thank you for letting us know, sir. And regards to Afghanistan. And to all of viewers, thank you very much for joining today's edition. Once again, with me is Mr. Saeed Ahmad Yama Kashifi, streaming all the way from Afghanistan. Thank you, Doctor, for joining us today. Thank you, everyone, for watching, and stay tuned in for the next edition. If you're watching us on YouTube, please make sure you subscribe, and why not hit the notification button, so that whenever we upload a new video, you're the very first to see it. And if you're watching us on Facebook, please make sure you follow us on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram. And if you want to be a part of the OLDN member, of the OLDN family, please make sure you visit www.centrao.com, or you can click on the link that is attached to this video and you will be a member. Stay tuned in for the next edition. Thank you and bye-bye.
Thank you, madam. Thank you.